But, yeah. Everybody's looking. I'll take it down. It looks like it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just redone the same 7 nights. Yeah.
Hey, what's wrong? Okay. I'm gonna show you the live stream. So, yeah, we trying to have a search.
That's right. We're looking forward to finding it.
I'll do something substantial. Well, that's. Yeah, but we went better than about $10. I just ordered this
My advice would be, like this year, if you were to walk, you would take and then probably Friday. All right, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then like by the time I get just for that.
Hey, Yuki, do you see me? Can you hear me?
Maybe even. But anyway, so she's like, where's the restaurant? So she went outside and then
She looked at me. What's that saying? She met my mom.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
She's doing it all.
Did you like talking to Bill?
Yeah, we can,
I love it's live on YouTube. Yes, it is super rich.
so it had actually happened like 3 hours.
It's live on YouTube.
Hey, Dalton, say hi, Yuki.
Hi, Yuki.
Did you hear that?
No, it's because they're streaming it to his wife in Japan.
Hey, Yuki, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yeah, they can see. Is that on YouTube?
You and I.
Yeah, if you go to Loose Video.
I'm going to about to search that.
Okay, hey Yuki, can you see and hear us? Type yes.
I'm going to down here.
There you go, sir.
I guess one method.
Hey Yuki, can you see and hear us? Let me know.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. Have they got through on you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, make sure it's working. Okay, good. Sure. How are you?
I'm Josh.
You're the one I talked to.
All right.
Do you know if they're willing to share, you're willing to share?
Yeah.
Okay, and then do you say that her best friend, maybe not? Okay, good. What I'll do is, I usually.
I think I'll try that.
Then I will read.
Just wait till you get that.
Lawns don't get it. Lawns don't get it. I know, right? Might be able to see it something happened. Who's around here? That's why I don't know why this is around. And you actually have really
Football, right?
Hanging in there. Just trying to see what turnaround is. You can see it's straight to UPS.
Oh, okay.
I think she's on there. There's two people.
Hey, you okay? Standing there with my dad, Steve, and Dalton. Okay, it looks like maybe you're on there, so we'll get started here soon. Love you.
Can't wait to meet you.
I know, right?
Okay.
Oh, I can't say. I heard it was in the games. They go have everybody. You.
She the baby doing that already. She's got it's just me and San Diego. So she's got all the yeah, too much for her. It's a big baby.
There was like, yes. But she was like, but almost all of the people were running in. So it was true.
How you doing? Yeah. But she's still in Japan. We got her live streaming on here on YouTube. Hey, high school classmate Heather.
And my mom loved you. My mom told me to tell you she was sorry. I thought that was nice. She was, I just remember as a third grade little boy in the class. Like, Mom, you don't know. I'm sorry. I see Joey a lot. We tried that for my dad too. I didn't realize. I actually should have got close, but I didn't. Maybe we need something like. But I don't know.
So
You might have all sorts of
No, so she had so the jokes.
Sitting under the counter. Right, really? I know, I'm so excited. I just said, well, Jeff, I'm gonna get everything. I'm like, well, hey. Yeah, exactly. That's what, well, that sucks that she can't. He needs to be anything. Joey knows me. Well, you know, my husband will change. Everyone like went on Facebook. Everyone's like, oh, honey, weird change. Like it was weird. So anyway, like I said, if you need anything, exactly. I'll take off our fly out to help you paint or get her there or whatever.
That's why it was more deal. I discovered
Well, they're closed on Sundays, and I always want Chick-fil-A and Hollywood on Sundays, so I'm not playing that. But yeah, like I said, you need anything. I'm with that holly tree back there, I guess. Sorry, I know that. I know
On behalf of the family, I want to thank you for coming to share your support with them and let them know you're thinking of them and hopefully praying for them during this difficult time. We've gathered together for this memorial service for Marilyn Helen Sands, 65 of Pendleton, who passed away on October 17th at her home in Paris, Illinois. She was born on November 5th, 1955 in Paris, Illinois, the daughter of Bruce and Ruth Carmichael Miller, Jr. Marilyn was a 1974 graduate of Pendleton Heights High School. She retired from the Indiana Department of Corrections, working as an administrative assistant in all of the Pendleton correctional facilities. Marilyn loved to travel, camp, and enjoy the great outdoors, and was an avid animal lover. She dedicated her life and was most proud of being a mother of 3 boys that she loved and adored above all else. Watching those boys grow into men and follow their dreams was the joy of her life and will forever be her legacy. She was preceded in death by her husband, Barry K. Sands, her parents, Bruce and Ruth Miller Jr. Marilyn is survived by her children, Joshua A. and Yuki Miller of San Diego, California, Joseph A. Miller of Anderson, Stephen R. and Emily McPherson of Greenfield, grandchildren, Chloe and Caden Miller, and a granddaughter who's expected in December, her canine companion, Lily. One of the things that I think helps us in times like this is to look to God's word for encouragement and comfort and strength. And I'd first like to read the 121st Psalm. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Then from Isaiah chapter 40, we find these words. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youth grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. And then the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. At this time, I think some of the sons are going to share, and if you would like to share after they share for a few moments, feel free to do that. We'll just give an opportunity for them, and then any of you that might want to share a memory of her life.
Pastor Player, thank you for being here tonight. Family, friends, Yuki, my beautiful wife from Tokyo. Gosh, thinking about what I would say tonight, honestly, I think it'd be a whole lot easier to put Kevlar on and go back to war than to do this tonight. So spent the last week and a half, if anything, going through memories, looking at pictures, and it has been very cathartic, very healing. Thousands of pictures and millions of memories. These picture boards are just a smattering, of our life. She was my best friend. She gave me a chance when she didn't have to. Had me when she was 18, very young. Had my brother Joe by the time she was 20 and Stevie by 24. It's an amazing woman. I'm 47 and about to have my first. I was talking with Pastor Klinger, and really, how do you sum up my mom's life? It was all about family. It was all about me and my brothers. I had the opportunity to read some of the letters she wrote me when I was in college. And just the love in those letters, the $10 she would send me when I knew she didn't have much, the $20 so I could make it home for the holidays. The fact that she was putting herself back through school, prepping for my brother Joe to go to school. She would keep me apprised of, the Friday night football games that I wasn't able to see, but she would make it down to my Saturday football games. So, she'd make that 4-hour drive. And she'd meet me over in Dayton to watch me play, or Valparaiso, or wherever. She put her kids first. So that was the first part of her life. Fast forward a little bit, she met Barry, had a fantastic time. They were really, the two of them were, thick as thieves and all their animals. Really enjoyed that. But then she spent a lot of time taking care of her mother. So kind of the middle to later part of her life, it was again dedicated to family. She put her mother first, my grandmother. Then when my grandmother passed, just a little over 20 years ago, then she, turned right around and took care of my grandfather, until he passed in 2007. And then, and then Barry got sick. And then she spent, time taking care of her husband, and he passed in 2019. So, to say that this was unexpected, is, absolutely, we were looking forward to, again, welcoming my daughter, here very soon. And I know she was excited about that. I was excited for her to meet my daughter. My amazing wife, we were gonna use my grandmother's middle name of Rose for our daughter, and my wife, got a hold of me and said, "I've been thinking about it. Why don't we use your mother's middle name? That way she's always with us." So, very soon you all get to meet Miley Ellen Miller when we welcome her into the world. And I promise you, Mom, she's going to know you. She's going to know everything about you. And I'll close. I want this to be more of a celebration of my mom's life. I actually had to write something down. I had this memorized at one point in time. Sorry, I got my mom's bad eyes. But when I was a college senior, Chloe, you're about to be a college senior. When you're facing the world and you don't know what's coming at you, I remember going to the library. Actually, I had to go look at a book. You can look it up online. And I was trying to look at, as I'm facing my future, what does it mean to be successful? I'm trying to, what am I going to do to be successful? And I found this, it's often contributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson, but it's titled, "What is Success?" And it reads, "To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the approbation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to give of oneself, to leave the world a little better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to have played and laughed with enthusiasm and sung with exultation, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded." I can tell you, I don't know any more successful person than my mother. I hope one day someone will say this about you. I can tell you, my mom, we found little notes she would leave herself, little notes of encouragement, to herself. And I don't know if she was talking to herself or she was talking to us when I found this on her refrigerator. But here's a note my mother left on her fridge. "Surrender to what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be." So Yuki, Miley, I look forward to what will be. And I look forward to you meeting my family, meeting all my friends, and learning about my mom, your grandma. I will leave it with that. I appreciate you all being here. The outpouring of love and support that we've received over this last week and a half has been amazing. It means a lot. So, thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming. Sorry, to be short. Again, thank you for everybody's love and support. I mean, we couldn't make it through this without, all that outpouring love and support from, all our friends and family. He hit it spot on. I mean, she was all about family, so, I mean, I remember, being in Colorado, 6 years old, and I wanted a dirt bike, right? So her and my dad, like, all right, you gotta earn it somehow. So every morning, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they drive me around on my newspaper route, so I can get a dirt bike. And we got a dirt bike. Then we come back to, I was in Colorado Springs, I mean, foot of snow, didn't matter, her and my dad, all right, let's go, Come back to Indiana, I'm like, Mom, I need to put gas in that dirt bike. She's like, yeah, probably need some tires too. I'm like, all right, I want another paper route, so 4 o'clock in the morning, get up, roll newspapers, didn't matter, rain, sleet, snow, she'd take me on my paper route, and I don't even know if I paid her gas, but she did it, So, I mean, my entire life, there's never not been an animal in the house. It's, sometimes she had 13 cats and, 5, 6 dogs, and, it was a zoo sometimes. And somehow we all ate, so, I mean, we all had food on the table, or sometimes I'd sneak kibble and bits, the little doodle ones. She didn't like that. Like Josh said, she's probably been to 500,000, 600,000 sporting events, she'd be going from one ballpark to the other, from one part of the state to the other, and, running on fumes, both herself and her car, and, I knew she'd be down in Evansville one weekend and turn around same day she's at my rugby game up in Wabash or in Crawfordsville. She just loved her grandchildren to pieces, and there's a lot of things I see in my children that her kindness and giving, they have it sometimes, you see it sometimes. But they may not see it, but I see my mother's kindness in them, and that makes me proud. Her legacy is might skip me, but it's landed on my children. So I just remember even in the last month, I'd call and talk to her for a couple hours at a time, and just be about nothing. She'd be yelling at her dog or whatever, and then just cut right back into the conversation like nothing happened. It was like, poor dog. But she never didn't answer my call, and no matter what problems I had throughout my life, she was always there to help me with it. Let me know it would be better. Just gonna miss her. Way too soon. I think we all, never thought it was gonna be like this. It's not a goodbye. She's in good hands. She's up in heaven with, her friends, my friends. they're all looking down and proud, proud of her children, her grandchildren, or soon to be, grandchild. And, it's just one more angel for us, so it's not really set in yet. So I'll say I love you, Mom, and I'll see you someday.
Well, like Josh and Joe said, we appreciate everybody coming out and the support that we've gotten in the past week and a half. It's more than what we could imagine. And like they said, she loved more than any person that we've ever known has. And I know when I was in the military, there was times I just wanted to give up. I'd call and I'd talk to her, and she'd just tell me, stick with it, stay the course. And the good days will end up coming through. And I know that's what she'd want us to do, is stay the course and keep our heads up. And I know, like Joe said, she's up there watching down on all of us. And she loved all of us kids with so much love. And I know she was proud of Kaden and Chloe. Every time I talked to her, she'd tell me that they were, when I was away in the military, she'd always tell me something new that they were doing. And I know she was proud that they were doing well in school. And I know she was very, very proud of Josh when he went into the Navy. And because he was living his dream. And with Joe, she was proud of him because he was doing his thing and he had Kaden and Chloe. And I know she was proud of all of us. And I just hope we can live up to how she treated everybody and loved everybody. And it's something to strive for that I know all of us are going to continue to strive for. And like I said, I can't remember her not being involved with sports with us in one way or another. And even if it was little things, she was always there for us doing that. And I know there, towards the end of my senior year, she said she was going to miss it. She was glad it was almost over as far as the sports, but she was going to miss it because she knew nothing else of that from the time Josh started high school playing sports until the time I graduated. It was all she knew. And she knew it was going to be an adjustment. And I know she was proud of all of us and doing our own thing. And she was very supportive of it. It's something I know we all appreciated. And like I said, I just hope we can love and show the love that she showed us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anyone else want to share?
I will.
Sure.
I don't want to cry, sorry. Wait, I'm already crying as I get up there. It's kind of hitting. But obviously I knew her my whole life, 20 years old. It's grandma, my only grandma. Everyone else is Mimi and Nancy. It's grandma. I mean, she was always a country grandma who fried pork chops. Every time I came back from college or just came up to school and stuff, I'd be like, can you cook fried pork chops again? That's what I like. Purdue does not have good food. And she was the good food, so whenever I wanted something good, I'd make sure I go to her house. I remember going over to Illinois all the time. We all went up there and Easter eggs. Do you remember that? We did Easter egg hunts and we always fight each other and push each other over and collapse and beat each other up for those Easter eggs. And she'd hide them in some of the weirdest spots. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking. Yeah, and then she'd take us around her little walk around, and I mean, I miss her. I don't take death very well. I've had a lot of people recently pass away. There's been a lot. I mean, some of the things I wear of hers, I mean, back in 2015, 8th grade, she gave me rings. I have not taken them off since 8th grade, and I'm junior in college now, so that shows how much going through her jewelry and, I mean, her sweatshirts. I wear some of her, old grandma sweatshirts that have the weird embroidery and stuff. I would make fun of her, but now I'll go to Goodwill and buy them. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I get made fun of, but I'm like, I feel like a grandma. I'll raid her closet, don't worry. She'd be mad if I didn't. All the dogs, every time we'd come over, I swear there was a new one that I didn't see on the floor. I mean, when she had Cody, we'd mess with Cody and Susie. God, Susie was a little rat. Now Willie outlived every single one. Like, Willie's just kicking. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna miss her. She kind of was a little smart aleck. I'm not gonna lie. She liked to tell it how it is. If I'm being honest. She'd check in on me here and there. She came up to Purdue recently when Uncle Josh got back. So I'm glad she got to see Purdue. She didn't get to see inside my house or anything because she didn't want to walk up the stairs. There's two-way stairs, which I don't blame her. I don't like doing it either. But I mean, I don't know. I just had so many memories, and there's just a lot of stuff that I don't even remember. And I'm seeing these pictures, and I'm like, wow, I was the favorite. But no, I think the outlook I've taken from all of these people that I've known pass away and everything is, yes, they were here and now they're not, but whatever you believe in after life, if there is something out there, eventually we will be there. And so, I mean, as some say, time goes faster for them, so it's like a blink for them and a lifetime for us, and eventually we'll be there and see everyone again, and I think it'll be okay, and I think she's a lot happier. I know but I think she's happier. I mean, ever since Grandpa Barry died, she lost it, and she didn't know what to do anymore. I think she was just ready to see her loved ones that were already gone, and she knew it was going to come eventually, and we all know it's going to come eventually. We just don't know when, and I think when she knew, and I know she's happy. I mean, I know she's happy, so. But
I'll do it. That'll be long. Yeah, I'm supposedly the non-favorite one, but I always remember being with grandma's. She'd be the kind lady, just whenever we're in a store, taking us around when we was at the house in Pendleton. She'd just buy us some gum from little thing right above the conveyor belt, or buy some kind of candy, or she'd always have candy in the house. It was everywhere. I know we liked it. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure every day when we were young, when we went over there, she was mostly there towards the end, but like it used to just be us and Dad, of course, but it felt more like Grandma's house than Dad's house at some point. I don't know why, but every time I went to Pendleton, it feels like a holiday, kind of. Always something that she's going to do. Gonna cook us a big dinner, get yelled at for drinking too much milk. I'll get filled up, and she'll forgive me, and then I'll just eat a bunch of sweets. We'll walk over to Jimmy's root beer or ice cream stand. Always get some really good ice cream there. It wasn't a very long walk either from their house. And I remember going out to Grandma's house in Illinois. Just like the dogs run wild. She had a maze out of grass and everything. She had all her own little projects going. She just knew how to fill up her life. And that's probably a good thing. I mean, I don't have much more to say because everyone has gotten it, but when you really look at it, she did a lot for us. I didn't realize that.
Hi, my name's Clint. I met these three knuckleheads about 32 years ago. And this woman right here, she tried to feed me every time I walked in that door. Clint, what do you want to eat? I just ate, dog. Here, I get some. I can't, but I met Joe at Brown School. We used to ride mountain bikes together. She was always worried about us. Just make sure you take care of Joe. Joe, make sure you take care of Clint. They don't do stupid stuff, guys. And, you know, most of the time we didn't. I mean, we were ornery, but we weren't stupid. But she and Joe's grandpa, between the two of them, it was like comedy when you went over there because they always had something to say to you. Old crack dad always had something to say. But yes, this woman was great to us. Growing up, still, I saw her a couple weeks ago. I'm glad I got to talk to her a little bit. She's a really, really, really good woman. And sorry that she's gone. It's too soon.
I'm Beaver. You know, Josh's been my best friend for a long time. And I was just going to say something back there, but then I wanted to tell you guys how much I love you. And Marilyn was an incredible woman. And unlike Clint not telling the truth, Joe and him were doing the things that they shouldn't have been doing. And it was Josh trying to get him out of trouble. Not everything he said was true. So, you know, he was telling the truth about she always wanted to feed you. And that was one of my first memories. Josh took me home to their house. And if you know my dad, he worked for Coca-Cola. So at dinner, we had Coca-Cola, you know, and I remember sitting down, staying all night with Josh, and the table was all made, and we all sit down and have dinner together, and I got to drink milk. And I thought, hey, Josh, did we do something to get in trouble? Are we being punished? We can't have pop, you know, because then we were being too, you know, rowdy or too out of line, which, you know, we might have been. But her talking, and everybody talking about, you know, she loved her kids and she was so proud of her kids. And we played all kinds of sports together and she was always there supporting us. And her love for animals, I'll never forget. It was about that same time, that first time I ever met her. Or not met her. I met her many times. First time I stayed at the house. I sit down on the couch, and her love for animals I said, and I think I'm dead again. Josh, you smell that? I said, something's bad. He's like, oh, that's our dog Gypsy. About that time, coming out from behind the couch, this dog. And that was one ugly dog. I don't know if who else got to see Willie. But Willie's not a pretty dog. And, yeah, they seem to get attitude, they want to fight the other dogs, But that's the kind of heart Marilyn had. Even though that dog stunk, and I mean a bad stink. And if you wasn't there, you can't understand it. And but that's how her heart was. Didn't matter. Joe being a knucklehead, she loved him with all her heart. And she was so proud of you boys. And every time I ever got to see her, she talked about all of you and how much she did love you and how proud she was. And I'm truly blessed to call you my brothers and have her in my life. She will be missed. That's all I can say.
We'll go together. No.
Hi, I'm Jean, and Marilyn and I have been friends for 58 years, from Brownies. For some reason, we just latched on to each other, and through the years, even though we would go our separate ways and we'd have our lives, the boys she'd be in Germany, we would write to each other, and that's how we communicated. And it didn't matter where we were in our lives, our friendship was strong. And I'm not a speaker. This summer I got to come home and I spent 2 weeks with her, and we talked and we talked, and we rode around and we talked, and it was good. It felt right. We never lost that connection as friends. And I miss her. I feel like she's my soul sister. And I will miss her. I'll miss being able to pick up the phone and talk to her for hours about probably the same things that we talked about before, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I'm gonna miss her. And it's not gonna be the same. But I know you guys are here, and you guys have welcomed me in, and I appreciate that. Marilyn loved you guys. I mean, I knew about all of you. I knew about everything. I'm not gonna tell you because, but Marilyn was my friend. She was my friend. And we don't always get granted a friendship like we had. And I'm so grateful. And I'll miss her. And that's all I got to say. I'll just miss her.
Anyone else want to share? It's been great. All the relationships and
Memories and how she's had an impact on so many of you in different ways. I want to read the 46th Psalm and just make a few comments on it. It says, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. Though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is within her, she will not fall. God will help her at break of day. Nations are in uproar, kingdoms fall. He lifts his voice, the earth melts. The Lord Almighty is with us, the God of Jacob is our fortress. Come and see what the Lord has done, the desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. He says, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. One would be hard-pressed to find stronger words of comfort than those found perhaps in this psalm. These words, though written long ago, provide a sense of security for troubled times, even moments such as these. We have come to this place today for a very important purpose, that we might openly acknowledge our love for Marilyn. And I appreciate everyone who took the time to share, and some of you probably have other memories that you could have shared with us. We've come also to openly show support for the family in their time of grief, for your loss and for your pain. We can offer no quick remedies or answers, only our concern, our thoughts, and our prayers. In times like these, we are fortunate to have the Word of God as a resource. The Word has stood the test of time, and it has been proven true by our own experience. Psalm 46 speaks to that which is being felt right here today. Let us get past the language of the psalm and hear the powerful message. We do not know exactly to what the psalmist was responding when he wrote these words. Some powerful force obviously made him feel very weak and afraid. Whatever it was, the force was very powerful because he spoke of the mountains being carried into the sea, the waters roaring and the earth trembling. The psalmist felt helpless on his own strength. Possibly during these past few days, you have identified with that sense of helplessness. How helpless we feel when we want life for someone. We would do anything to change the course of events, and yet there appears to be little, if anything, we can do to redirect the inevitable. The psalmist evidently knew the feeling well. Some have thought there was a foreign army invading the land, destroying as it went. Others have felt it was some catastrophe of nature, a flood or perhaps an earthquake. Whatever the problem may have been, whether some catastrophe of nature or the terror of some invading army, the psalmist had found the manifestation of the splendor of the Lord of hosts, even in terror. Yet in the midst of all this, his faith allowed him to stand strong. And even above all the noise, he was able to hear the still, quiet voice of God. There was no doubt in his mind God was still in control of the world, and he was indeed a source of strength and refuge. Even as you gather today, there may be questions in your mind about God's control of our world. In order to hear, the psalmist had to first be still. Verse 10 says, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Today, these who have suffered the loss of their loved one, Marilyn, also find themselves in a similar time. There are no mountains being visibly carried into the sea, but in a very strange way. The earth is trembling, and we find ourselves under the influence of a very powerful force. We know very little about this force of death, one that very quickly puts us in touch with our limited capacities as human beings. Now, there is a different kind of insecurity, but we can hear the quiet voice of God if we allow ourselves to be still. Verse 11 says, the Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. There are needs which are evident today, and the God of this psalmist is the same God at work in our modern world. He is our source of refuge and strength. His strength can help us bridge the change which has suddenly overwhelmed us. We need God's unchanging nature in a world that is constantly changing and at times may bring with it experiences of pain. What does a song about God, the conqueror of the nations, have to do with grief? It has everything to do with it. Grief shakes us at our deepest level. Grief creates fear. Our world may appear to be turned upside down. In the midst of this trouble, God comes in strength and offers refuge and strength. God not only helps us, he is a present help. The God of Jacob, our God, is above and beyond all things. He lifts his voice, the earth melts. By speaking a single word, he can change the appearance of all things. There's no circumstance in our life beyond God's ability to help. There are few things in our lives when we need strength and refuge more than when death invades our ranks. There's no need for panic, no need for frenzied efforts for survival, and certainly no need to give up. Only one act is needed. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. I'd like to read the poem entitled Undying Love. God has not promised skies always blue, flower-strewn pathways all our lives through. God has not promised sun without rain, joy without sorrow, peace without pain. But God has promised strength for the day, rest for the labor, light for the way, grace for the trials, help from above, unfailing sympathy, undying love. Let's pray together. Father, thank you for the life of Marilyn Sands and for the influence she has had on her family and her friends, her co-workers, her neighbors down through the years. Thank you for the legacy she has left in doing all that she could to help her boys become men and follow their dreams and do what perhaps they wanted to do and desired to do and have made a life for themselves. And I just pray that you'll continue to minister to them and through them as they do what they are doing, and may they be a blessing to others around them like their mother was to them and the example that she was to them. Have your way in each of our hearts and lives day by day, I pray in Jesus' name.
No, I never. I just never wrote it down. Just never did that. I don't know what I did. So I knew it. So I go up on the show. Yeah, she was like, I want to. street. We all about you. Oh. These things are good. Just like that.
Yeah, you broke down.
Where's the sign that sheet? It's right outside your belongings. Very good point. Very good point.
I started.
Oh, packing stuff up.
This one. We're gonna go find the other one.